The K79-S80 was an Imperial Troop Transport, which we first got to see in the animated series of Rebels. We then got to see it in operation in the live-action series of The Mandalorian. And I've got one here today. And doesn't it look awesome? So, without further ado, let's go over to the table and take a closer look. Cue Pedro. Hey there, troopers. Thanks for joining me here in the Imperial Outpost. So, as you saw from my intro, we're going to be taking a look at this K79-S80 Imperial Troop Transport. I picked this up from a well-known auction site for a damn good price. Now, these are quite difficult to get your hands on at the moment. I've looked at a few that have been out of stock at companies, so I went on to our very famous known auction site, and a lot of these were going for over £100. But as I say, I got this at a very reasonable price. Now, the reason why it was reasonable is because of the box. This is brand new, but the box should be brand new, but it's not brand new because of storage reasons. So, as always, I like to start by taking a look at the box. But before we take a look at what's on the box, let me just show you why I got this at a fairly decent price. Because, you know, damage to the box, and the seller said it was through storage. You know, where you would buy an item not to get it out of the box. I mean, they said they opened it just to check all the parts were in, and then put it back in the box. And to me, that seems weird. You know, buy an item, check it's in there, shut the box, and just put it away and store it. You know, and I haven't done a very good job of storing it. Putting that aside, hopefully everything in here should be okay. Well, it better be okay anyway. So, let's take a look at this box. Now, on the front there, we have a lovely depiction of the troop transport itself. And you can see here, this is what we get inside. Move around to the end, and we can see from here, it's got a cannon that you can put on top, and the top opens, which is great. Round this side at the back, just the same as the front. And I do like the diorama that they've got there with the downed TIE fighter there. That's cool. This side gives you some more pictures of what you can do with this thing. And if you can see, it looks like it's got a gun rack, which is really, really unique. I like that. I like that idea. On the top here, we have the doors open at the front where you can put your drivers, which is great, absolutely great. And on the bottom, we've got another picture there, and just as you can see, some garbage. Okay, right, let's take this out of the box and have a closer look. Okay, so it comes with a set of instructions and the cannon that goes on the top. And so we'll have a look at that in a minute. But first impressions of this, absolutely fantastic. I mean, the weathering is brilliant. Look at this. Look at the weathering on this. Isn't that great? I like the Imperial logo at the side there. That's lovely. But they really made it, because this was operating in a desert, on a desert type planet. They've really gone to town with it, haven't they? Look at that. What a nice colour. But you wouldn't want it like brand new, would you? And look, underneath here, look at that. They've gone some nice detail on here. Really nice. You know, normally you think, well, why put the detail on the bottom here? Because you won't never see it. But this is what makes a good vehicle. You know, a good company. When you do that, you know, they've thought about the underneath. You know, perhaps they thought about, you know, maybe it's going to be blown up and end up like that in your diorama set. Possible, but yeah, really do like that. That's brilliant, isn't it? Let's take a look inside. Looks nice detail inside there, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll have a closer look at that in a minute. So this here, which is the back compartment, that should sit on there now. Yeah. Even that, look, that has got some lovely detail. Look, even gone by putting the lights from the Death Star, if you remember. Look at that. That's great detail. Absolutely fantastic. Right, okay. Let's have a quick look at the instructions. So these are instructions for it. And we'll have a read of those. That's the front. So as I say, we've got the cannon that goes on the top there. The doors at the front open. The top comes off. The back, oh, and the seats come down, and you've got the gun rack. Okay, right. So first off, I think we're going to need to get rid of these elastic band, these holders here. One. Okay, right. Look at that. Isn't that great? The detailing even on the hatch there. Brilliant. There's certainly is a lot on that. Okay, now let's, I don't know if you can see that. Okie dokie, right there. Apparently the seats go down as well. Let's get this top off so we can have a closer look inside. How did they say do it? There we go. So before we take a look inside, let's have a look at the ceiling of this vehicle. Look at that. They've actually put weathering on the top there. Now, you're not going to see that when that's on. Not at all. But they've actually gone to the trouble of putting all this weathering on, which is fantastic. I mean, all I can say, if you want to see that, is that, you know, it's falling down like that and the tops come off and then you'll see everything, right, you know. But that is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Really, really nice detail there. That is brilliant. And the gun, what do we do with that? There it is. The gun fits on top there. Like that. That's brilliant. I like that. Fantastic. Now, if you remember, if you've watched The Mandalorian, the scene where they pull up and all the stormtroopers, well, you know, where this vehicle pulls up, and all the stormtroopers jump out, it was like, hey, fantastic. You know, if you've watched the Rebels, animated series Rebels, you see it in that. Which is really, really good. So let's take a closer look. Look at this. That is phenomenal. All inside there, look. Now that there is the gun racks where you can put the guns. And the seats apparently come down. Oh yes, look at that. That is awesome. So we have three sets of seats each side. Now, does this back one come down? No, that back one doesn't come down, so it's just these four. Look at that. That is awesome, guys. What an awesome vehicle. The detailing on him, I'm just gobsmacked. It's such a decent vehicle. I mean, I'm loving that. Absolutely loving that. That's gonna be fantastic in your diorama, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Now, let's just get this back on. I'm sure it goes down like that. Yep. There you go. Look at that. So, that's shut, and then open up the back. Brilliant. Okay. That's really, really neat. Okay, let's have a look at the doors. I'll get those open. That's where the driver sits. There we go. Look at that. Come on. Look at that. That is fantastic. Look at the detail that's in the cockpit there. Look at that. And these are actually on a swivel, all joint swivel. You can have a look inside. There's a all joint swivel at the bottom there that this goes around on. See that? Look. Down there. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. And the detailing, little decals in there, look. What the, absolutely brilliant. On the doors, you've got some more pre-installed stickers, which I like because they're very, very fiddly to put on, especially in the Millennium Falcon. So they're both on the swivel. I guess that's really to put the driver, so you can move to install the driver on the swivel. But that is a really nice looking vehicle. Look at that. I'm so pleased I managed to pick this up. I can understand why they all sell out really quickly because it is an awesome vehicle. So what? Let's get a stormtrooper. See what he looks like. So shut those up for a second. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Absolutely awesome. Let's get a couple more I've got up here. That one there. That one there. And we'll have I think that's a driver. Okay. So I've got a few more stormtroopers here. Now, legs. Right. So he can potentially sit down on the seat. We'll take the blaster out. Actually, before I put the stormtroopers in, let's try and get a blaster in the rack there. Oh, and now if you have a look right in there, look at that detail. That is phenomenal, and look, like you can see right the way through to the cockpit there. Driver's seats. Isn't that phenomenal? Absolutely brilliant. Okay, so let's get the gun in on the rack. Where's these two going? It's a bit fiddly, but I'm sure they go in. There. A bit of time, you should be able to get these in. They are very fiddly. Now, I was going to say, it might just be this blaster doesn't fit in there very well. Should do. I'm doing it wrong, might be me. There you go. Look at that. And there's no peg holes to put their feet down on there, so it's just got to manipulate the figure in. It will sit down. There we go. Hey. Yeah, well, they will. I mean, it might be his. Says this one move? No. Yeah, it might be that pouch that's stopping him from sitting down. It seems to go in there. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that brilliant? Absolutely fantastic. So, listen down there. Have one in there. Oh, one. Just there. This should clip on. No, should get there. That's a clue. There you go. Boom. Okay, let's get the driver in. So I'm gonna use a Shore Trooper. Okay, so a lot of fiddling about, but I've managed to get the driver in there. And these doors open as well. Look at that. Well, the two front ones do. These back ones don't. But you can see in there, I've got the driver. You can see that. Isn't that brilliant? Okay, so I've just moved the light so you can see the driver in there. Look at that. I know it's a shore trooper, but that is absolutely awesome. I'm loving that. And this door and this door opens as well. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Like I say, I've got it at a really good price, but couldn't get it anywhere else. But yeah, that's going to look fantastic in my diorama. That is brilliant. Okay, what I'll do, I'll pop up on the screen some information on the vehicle. It's got some specifications and other information there for you to have a look at. Okay, so let's take a walk inside. Detailing on this, as I say, is phenomenal. Look at that. And then that's inside the cockpit there. See right through. Absolutely fantastic. This is the cockpit where the driver sits, and it's, look at the detailing. That is brilliant. So, what are my thoughts on this Imperial Troop Transport? Well, I think it's a fantastic vehicle to have in your collection. I mean, the detailing on this is just phenomenal. It's just an all-round fantastic looking vehicle. I mean, there are lots of ways you can display it. You know, just the detailing is, it gets me. It's the inside of the vehicle. You know, the lengths that they've gone to put all that detail on the inside that you're not necessarily going to see if you're just displaying it. Yeah, it's just a phenomenal vehicle. So pleased that I picked this up. I mean, the weathering. You don't need to do any weathering yourself on this. It's done for you, and I've got to say it is a cracking good job done on this vehicle. If you can get your hands on one, then yep, thumbs up for this one. Like I say, I got this one at a great price. I managed to knock the seller down because of the state of the box. Now, normally I do like to keep the box mint, but you know, it saves me a few bucks, a few pounds to get this vehicle. I mean, the box is just going to be stored away for me, so you know, I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, overall, just a great vehicle. Looking at it in the Mandalorian when it pulls up was just fantastic, and all the stormtroopers running out, you know, absolutely brilliant. There you go, troopers. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the K79-S80 Imperial Troop Transport. Until the next video, long live the Empire.